Welcome to Fox Hill's Black Report, your daily source for Black news, views, and opinions. Today's Thursday, July 14th, and I'm Mimi Brown.
And I'm Romeo.
I'm Demi Lobo. And on today's report, a new ruling in New York which allows you to legally carry a gun in public is raising questions on whether black gun owners will have the same privileges as others. Meanwhile, the Rhode Island state senator who went viral for twerking on TikTok returns to the app after being suspended. But does she have any regrets for the dance moves posted to her account? We find out. Then Jayland Walker, the young black man gunned down by Ohio police 60 times, was laid to rest this week. His death is drawing an eerie comparison to the death of Emmett Till. We have the story.
Plus, Aretha Franklin's tax burden has been cleared, and we will tell you the shows that got snubbed at this year's Emmys. We have all of that and so much more. This is our voice and our truth, so let's get it.
Black gun owners in New York State are reportedly taking advantage of the Supreme Court's decision to strike down the law on concealed carry permits. They are happy with the court's decision that now allows them the ability to carry guns in public. Now, African-American gun rights advocates point to a history of laws denying black people the right to own guns. And since the pandemic, African-Americans have been buying guns in record numbers. But the ruling has sparked concerns and raises questions over whether black gun owners will enjoy the same privileges as others. Philando Castile, who had a permit for his firearm, was still shot and killed by police at a traffic stop in 2016. The former education secretary under President Obama says black gun owners will not be treated the same as other groups, and he believes it will lead to more deadly encounters with law enforcement. I believe that he is absolutely right. It's sad to say that some of those laws don't apply to us in the same way. If the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms, black people should be able to carry and bear arms as well. But when you think about the laws, when you think about just for say stand your ground laws, we know that if a white person claims stand your ground against a black person and a black person were to try it, 9 times out of 10, it wouldn't go our way. And we've seen that happen over and over again in Florida with the black woman who tried that and she was sentenced to 20 years and things like that. So, while I'm glad that black people are bearing arms, I am afraid of what that may mean for us in the long run, because we all know the laws don't apply to us the same.
Absolutely. The NRA, nothing in this world really, to be honest with you, is set up for the betterment of black Americans unless we create that ourselves. So when you talk about the NRA specifically, the NRA is made up mainly of white Americans. The people who donate money into the NRA is made up of white Americans and Republicans, those who do not have the best interests of black Americans in mind. So I just hope that, Mimi, like you said in the story, that black Americans, when we look at this, the black gun owners in New York City that are like, oh, hey, perfect, I can now legally walk around with my gun. You keep that in mind, that these laws, like Mimi is saying, were not set up for us. And again, just reiterating, I'm very nervous as well that we're going to get a little trigger happy, not actually shooting, but gun happy, I'll say, to walk around. But then we end up in worse situations than our white counterparts.
We do know this since the pandemic, purchasing the gun for black men and women definitely went up. We understand that for all different reasons. But there was an article that a headline that said black gun owners eager to flex. That makes me nervous, right? So when you see that and when it's said like that, you're already putting out that negative energy. So if I'm pulled over and there's a gun in my glove compartment and I let you know that and I'm still reaching in my glove compartment for my insurance papers, what is the outcome going to be? That's the concern what Mimi jumped this whole conversation off with. Are we going to be treated the same when there's an interaction or altercation?
Right. And that article, that title, I mean, we work in the media, but we are very careful of how we report. And so when you say eager to flex, that just sounds racist. It sounds as if black people are walking around flashing guns, which, that is not what we're doing. Like I said, we deserve every right to protect ourselves, to protect our families like everyone else.
As a result of the pandemic, black people started to get guns at rapid rates because we felt like, hey, I need to protect myself. Right. And there were more black gun owners than ever before as a result of the pandemic. And so I take that headline two ways, that it could be black gun owners ready to, you know, get out there and, like you said, protect ourselves, but then also could be, depending on who wrote it and the with the backstory of this story, it could have also been like, okay, black people are ready to flex. Right. It could just be, it could have went two different ways. So I'd love to know what the motive.
Because we know when we say flex, we understand what it means.
It means show and tell.
Exactly.
It means, you know, so when you say flex, it's
doesn't. It just has many meanings.
Yeah, exactly.
The House of Representatives is expected to pass a bill in the next few days that would restore the right to abortion that was once protected by Roe versus Wade. The Women's Health Protection Act is an updated version of a bill the House passed last September to codify the right to an abortion. The Senate failed to pass the bill in May, and the bill would also bar states from imposing limits on abortion. The bill is expected to pass the House, but is also expected to fail in the Senate.
More than 100 African-American conservatives are coming to the defense of Supreme Court Clarence Thomas. The group, which includes conservative writers and academics like Glenn Loury and Robert Woodson Jr., signed an open letter condemning what they say is white progressives' racist attacks against Thomas. They say the attacks on Thomas for his role in ending abortion is terrible. The letter also said that the justice has been called an Uncle Tom.
A Minnesota man is under indictment after allegedly filing a false insurance claim for an arson he blamed on a Black Lives Matter activist. Now, Dennis Mola was charged with 2 counts of wire fraud after he told police someone lit his camper on fire because it had a Trump 2020 flag displayed. But police say Mola started the fire and spray painted graffiti on his garage that said Biden 2020. Investigators say Mola submitted more than $300,000 in fraudulent insurance claims and received $61,000 from the insurance company. Now, police say he got $17,000 from a GoFundMe as well.
Political analysts say Herschel Walker's Senate campaign is making it difficult for the GOP to take over the Senate. They say his latest rant about climate change is a bad one.
We in America have some of the cleanest air and cleanest water of anybody in the world. So what we do is we're going to put from the Green New Deal millions or billions of dollars cleaning our good air up. So all of a sudden China and India ain't putting nothing in there cleaning that situation up. So all that bad air is still there. But since we don't control the air, our good air decided to float over to China, bad air.
The Lincoln Project made a political ad out of Walker's latest political snafu. Political pundits say his incoherent speeches on policy issues and his lying about his business and personal experience is making it tough for him to unseat Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock. A recent poll had Warnock leading Walker by 10 percentage points. I mean, were we ever really positive that he was going to outseat Raphael Warnock, number one? But number two, the fact that he tried to explain China stealing good air from America and then sending back the bad air, it really proves that you have no idea how pollution, how climate change, how any of that works. And the scary part is I'm scared that there might be someone that is actually listening to him and thinks that he's correct, that this is how, that you can literally steal air and move it to another place and bring it back and clean out the air.
I mean, I was listening to the audience. I don't know if they were just egging him on or if they were just actually, but they were like, yeah, clapping. And I was just like, really?
What is going on? It was the music for me. I mean, the music just really set it off. And, you know, I think about, like, the race still has to happen. Yes. So, you know, Trump became president, so anything can happen. We do understand that when some people look at it. So, but I think based on what we're hearing from Herschel Walker, it shouldn't be an issue for Warnock, but we're hoping. But you never know.
Clear.
Yeah.
Right.
Crystal.
But we've just seen some crazy things, even with Donald Trump, where we thought that he had that, you know, Barack Obama and other people. We thought that, you know, it was just an easy, like, you knew that for sure that Donald Trump was not going to win, and he still did. So I'm just nervous. We cannot take our foot off the gas, is what I'm.
That is a good point, Demi. We cannot take it for granted.
Absolutely.
But if you vote for Herschel, listen. All right.
You got a problem. All right, lawyers for Marilyn Mosby, Baltimore State's attorney, filed a motion asking that perjury charges against her be dropped. Mosby lawyers said she did not deceive anyone when she certified she suffered financial problems during the COVID-19 pandemic. Federal prosecutors say Mosby lied on loan applications to buy 2 Florida properties. Mosby was charged in January with 2 counts of perjury and 2 counts of making false statements on a mortgage application.
A Rhode Island state senator who was suspended by TikTok after posting a video of her twerking while doing a handstand is back on the platform after being banned. State Senator Tierra Mack says she has no regrets. She says she was just being herself, a young queer black woman on her day off. She says she doesn't conform to the idea that you have to be fully clothed and buttoned up to be respected. She calls the criticism she received anti-woman, classist, and racist. Now, the 28-year-old says her behavior on social media is consistent with young millennials who are in office, and she says they are changing the norms. Now, Mack, who was elected in 2020, is running for re-election. A spokesperson for TikTok did not explain why she was taken off the site. The clip has been viewed more than 220,000 times. I can feel the heat of y'all looking at me right now, waiting for me to say something. Listen, I believe when you are a state senator, the office itself comes with a certain respect. You can do these things. I'm not telling you that you can't twerk, but what I am saying, if you are a state senator, I believe that office, whether you're in any government position, it holds weight, and people should respect the office. That's what I'm saying. So to each its own, if that's what she does, but I just don't see how the two go together.
Absolutely. Her even saying that what she's doing is in line with millennials. As a millennial, I don't want to see my senator twerking. Don't get me wrong. She did a great job on her twerk, but let's just be honest here. Going viral is like when you get 1 million views. 220,000 views we can get that on a video, doing something way more profound. So I will say, though, she is using this moment to fight for a few things. She started a TikTok, her Twitter is saying that I twerk for issues like trans rights, black girl magic, the human right to safe housing, the black wealth gap, ending solitary confinement. So she is using this moment to kind of gain traction, but I think that's as a after effect, more so like, okay, I'm already popping, I might as well start, letting people know that I care about this. She also says that she's going to return to TikTok and expose those who are misogynist, racist, and queer phobia. So I think that she's going to, I don't know if she's going to get reelected, but I think that she's going to be able to bring light to some issues that are very important. So
based on where you work, maybe you shouldn't twerk. That's what we're talking about here, right? Look, at the end of the day, it is about the job that you carry on your shoulders, and it's a big responsibility for those that live in your area. Look, it's a senator, right? So that's pretty major. So at the same time, people are doing this on TikTok. Don't know why it was snatched down. Maybe it was a good thing that it was. It brought this attention, but this is how you flip it. Yeah. I think like, hey, this is, now that I have your attention, let me go ahead and flip it for a great cause. So hopefully this works out for her in the end. Not sure if it will, though. Yeah.
But we'll definitely be updating on that. You won't see any twerking from the Black Report,
Not
right?
at all.
Okay. There is a hell of a story behind Boston's new black police commissioner. Boston's new police commissioner is a former cop who fellow officers beat unconscious more than 25 years ago after mistaking him for a suspect in a fatal shooting. The beatdown he took from his fellow brothers in blue actually allowed the suspect to get away. Cox ended up suing the Boston Police Department, which they tried to cover up to protect the cops who beat him. Fast forward to today, Michael Cox is expected to take over as police commissioner next month. Some of the cops who beat him up in January of 1995 are still on the force and will work for him now. We'd love to see a full circle moment. Mayor Michelle Wu, the city's first Asian mayor, appointed him to the job. And Cox says that the appointment is emotional for him, but he now points to a diverse police force that at one time had been dominated by white males.
A Texas abortion law that deputized private citizens to help enforce a 6-week abortion law has been sued by California Governor Gavin Newsom in an attempt to prevent gun violence. The plan came this week when Newsom signed a bill that established a new code of conduct for gun makers and sellers that allows citizens to sue them if they've been injured. Under the law, gun makers must establish reasonable controls that keep guns out of the hands of people most likely to cause harm. Legal experts say the firearms industry is expected to fight the law. They will cite the 2005 federal law that bans state and federal lawsuits against gun makers and dealers.
The alleged shooter in the Highland Park, Illinois 4th of July attack used anti-Semitic imagery and had a white supremacist lightning bolt tattoo on his hand. During a bond hearing, Robert Cremo III confessed to the 4th of July mass shooting that took the lives of 7 and injured 48 people. The lightning bolt symbol is derived from a Nazi officer's emblem. Investigators say Cremo reportedly tried to barge into a local synagogue. They say there are also photos of him at rallies for former President Donald Trump.
The body of an inmate was discovered in New York's notorious Rikers Island jail with signs of rigor mortis. The police say that the inmate Elijah Muhammad, who was 31, appeared to have died of a drug overdose. His body was discovered on Sunday. It's not clear how long his body was held in the cell, but rigor mortis begins to set in at least 2 hours after a death. Muhammad was being held in the high security portion of the jail on assault charges. Prison reform activists have called for Rikers to be closed, but because of the numbers of stabbings and unsanitary conditions of the facility, it is not.
The young black man who was gunned down by Akron, Ohio police was laid to rest this week. Family and friends are mourning the life of Jayland Walker. He was killed by 8 officers who fired as many as 60 bullets at him in late June. Walker's ceremony was live streamed at the Akron Civic Theater and featured an open casket drawing comparison to the Emmett Till funeral. It attracted around 1,000 friends, family, relatives, and onlookers. Walker was unarmed, when he was fatally shot by police last month. Police allege Walker failed to stop when they attempted to pull him over around 12:30 in the morning. They say he fired a shot from his car before exiting the car and fleeing the scene. Body camera footage shows a group of officers unleashing a barrage of bullets at Walker. According to reports, police fired at least 90 shots and continued to shoot him once he hit the ground. Police then handcuffed him until the medical examiner arrived. Walker was pronounced dead at the scene.
A black filmmaker in Los Angeles says he and his 2 kids were followed by a white woman to their home in a gated community. Joshua Miller says he went to the park Sunday to play with his 13-year-old and 5-year-old twins when he went back to his complex and a woman approached him and asked him what he was doing.
What did you just say?
What are you right now sitting out here doing?
I'm minding my own business. What are you doing?
I don't think you are minding your own business.
Okay, what do you think I'm doing?
I'm not really sure, but I'll figure it out.
Miller says she racially profiled him, and that's why he posted the video on social media. Miller says he doesn't think the woman lives in the complex. His wife called police, but cops did not get there until almost 2 hours later, and by that time, the woman was already gone.
A Missouri man dying of stage 4 renal failure and on the short list for a kidney transplant was wrongly detained and beaten by security at the hospital where he was being treated. Less than a year after the altercation, the man succumbed to his illness. Now his daughter is picking up his fight for justice. According to the lawsuit, Huey Robinson had gone to the hospital of April of 2021 in hopes of receiving a kidney transplant. He was told that he was second in line to receive the procedure, so he went to the hospital and parked his Buick in the garage. He was released 4 days later after no kidney was available. When he got home, the hospital called and told him he forgot his wallet. He went back to get it, but forgot where he was parked. He asked security to help him, but he was still unsuccessful in locating the car. After a while, security guards became suspicious, and they believed that Robinson was looking to steal a car. The guards beat him and arrested him. The hospital tried to get the videos of the altercation and interrogation suppressed by having their lawyers file a protective order to keep them from being made public. Robinson's daughter, Chelsea, is taking over the lawsuit on behalf of his estate. She hopes that the judge will give her father the dignity in death that he did not get in the last days of his life. This story, I mean, tragedy upon tragedy upon tragedy, knowing that you were second in line to get a procedure that could literally change the entire trajectory of your life, and then just out of nowhere, something like this happens. Of course, very happy that the family is not just sitting around and saying, okay, well, this happened. I'm really happy that the daughter is taking this on. But I mean, dignity in death. I mean, how can you even search for, like, in real life, dignity in death when you were literally killed this way, when you were so close to having your life be changed for the better?
Right. You go to the hospital, you think you're going there to try and save your life, and then you're tackled the way he was just tackled there. And this man was waiting for a kidney transplant. So imagine how frail he was at the time, and and this is just really sad that this is happening, and that you can't even forget that. Let's add that to the list. Cannot forget where we parked to the list of things Black people can't do.
Unbelievable. And you said it best with that. That's just how bad it's gotten. It's very sickening. All right, the family of an Oakland man is suing the county jail system, saying he died because he was denied medical care. 45-year-old Mark Monk died after spending 35 days locked up in the Alameda County Jail from heart disease. A lawsuit filed by his family says he was denied blood pressure medication. They say jail staff did not give Monk his diabetes or schizophrenia medication. Monk was in jail on charges related to a disagreement over a mask mandate. The family's attorneys say the jail has a pattern of exposing pretrial detainees to unconstitutional detention conditions.